Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, the Tyranid Learning Curve, and today we're looking at the Mucolid Spore Cluster. So this is an additional unit that wasn't in the main codex, released with the Tyrannocyte pods recently. Now, I don't have the model because I didn't buy any pods, because obviously I have all my converted pods. But it's well worth having a look at this, because I do hopefully one day plan on getting one, or at least converting some up. So you can have between 1 and 3 in a unit, and they're 15 points each. Now they are troops, so potentially if you wanted to have a dual force organisation chart and have the cheapest troops just to double up, allowing you to unlock some more maybe heavies or something, an ideal unit for that. Now there is one thing to bear in mind with these, is that although they are troops, they cannot score or deny, because they use the same special rules as the Spore Mines, so they have floating death and living bomb, so that does mean that they can't take objectives. But putting that aside, 15 points each sounds pretty cheap, so let's have a look at the stats. So no weapon skill or ballistic skill, just strength 1, toughness 3, 3 wounds, initiative 3, leadership 3, and no save. Now they have the shrouded special rule, so even in the open these guys are going to have a 5+ cover save, and if you're in a normal piece of terrain you're going to get a 3+ cover save, and if you manage to get into a ruin you're going to have a 2+ cover save. That's pretty cool. Now on top of that they are fearless, which is pretty useful. Now they do have the deep strike special rule, so are able to deep strike these guys in, which can be quite useful. They do have the sky blast special rule, which means that they are actually able to assault zooming flyers and swooping monstrous creatures. Now when these guys assault, they don't assault normally, they basically explode, just like the normal Spore Mines, except they are much more powerful. So when these explode, they are strength 8 and they are AP 3. Now the strength goes up for each additional mine you have in the unit, but to be fair, strength 8 AP 3, I don't think you really need to better that really, and I think taking one of these for 15 points is the way to go. I just can't see it's really necessary to have 3 of these. Now how do you use them? Well, as I said, I don't have them many, I haven't played them, so I'm only going from what I can see on paper. But what I can see on paper is that this unit is an ideal area denial unit. So I think the best way to use them is to deep strike them in, straight onto or near an objective. They have the floating special rule, so they get floating death, so they will move around. So they're just I think it's 3 inches. And then of course you have the option to assault, and when you do assault that will explode. Now not many people are going to want to go anywhere near one of these, you know, especially when it's near an objective. So although it can't actually score the objective, it can potentially distract your enemy from it, so they're either going to have to put some firepower into these, and for 15 points, you know, that's going to be probably a wasted firepower into these guys, especially if you can get that 2+ cover save. And 3 wounds, remember, as well, which is pretty decent. So that's how I would use them, because not only are they going to not want to shoot at you, they're not going to want to go anywhere near the objective and assault you. I mean, 10 tacticals, you know, strength 8, AP 3, large blast, is pretty decent. So I really do see these as like deep striking in, probably have a couple of them just deep striking through on some maybe outer rim objectives and say, well, I'm here, what are you going to do about it? You know, and if people take their time to shoot you, that's great, because it's not shooting at the rest of your force. And then, as I said, it's quite a big threat there with that big blast template. So that's how I see them being used, although they do have that Sky Blast special rule where you can assault zooming flyers or swooping monstrous creatures. I don't know how useful that's going to be, because you know the flyers are going to move pretty fast. Yes, you could deep strike next to a flyer, and I don't know, I don't see it being used that aggressively, successfully. I mean, we've got flying monstrous creatures and stuff that we can deal with flyers in other ways. I think these guys here, you'll be best to use them a bit more defensively as such, and just let your opponent deal with them really, rather than being too aggressive with them. But of course, this is the Tyranid Learning Curve, and as I said, I haven't played with these guys, so that's just what I'm thinking from what I can see on paper. But I would love to hear your comments. You know, if you've used these guys, how you're using them. You know, get your comments in there, because anyone who visits this video obviously not only watches what I say, but they also read what you say, and it's a great way of sharing our experiences. Okay, so I think that's it for these guys. As usual, thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.